Okay, this is going to be a short one. I only have a few minutes, but I am in Dallas, Texas, and I am standing next to the former building of the Texas School Book Depository, which is the building where Lee Harvey Oswald was at when he shot President Kennedy. And I am coming up to Elm Street, President Kennedy's motorcade in November 1963 came down this road here and made a left down this street right here. And right down there where those cars are is where President Kennedy was killed. The building, this building right here, the 6th floor, right, that window right there, is the window where Lee Harvey Oswald was hanging out of. Oh, I can cross. I'm crossing over here to the part of Dealy Plaza that is known as the Grassy Knoll. This is where a lot of the Kennedy shooting conspiracy theorists believe that there were other shooters, additional shooters, alternative shooters. There's a lot of theories about what happened here in November 22nd, 1963. This X right here where that truck just drove over, that X right there is where the presidential car was at when the first bullet hit President Kennedy in the neck, passed through his neck and hit Governor Connolly. I don't remember his first name, John, I think, the governor of Texas, at the same time. And then down here, we'll go down there and see it in a minute. Down here, there's another X where the third bullet, 3 bullets were fired. The first missed, but where the second bullet hit President Kennedy in the head and essentially killed him instantly. But this area right here is what is known as the Grassy Knoll. That day, there were several people standing along this area and standing in this area. And behind us up here is the area where some of the conspiracy theorists say that there were shooters back behind this area here, where this guy is standing taking pictures on this white pedestal right here. Gentleman named Abraham Zapruder, who was right on top of this pedestal right here. Abraham Zapruder was I believe he was an office manager of some sort, but he was standing on this pedestal. And there's the second X on the pavement right where that guy's standing. The car just drove over it. That's where the second bullet hit President Kennedy. Third bullet, second one to hit President Kennedy, hit him. But Abraham Zapruder was standing on this pedestal and taking video. And that is the video almost everybody sees when they see, documentaries and so on about the Kennedy assassination. They're watching Abraham Zapruder's. These guys are going to try and get out into the parking lot, out into the street before they get run over and get a picture. Oh, he's taking a picture of the window is right behind that tree, and then the shot came down here. But Abraham Zapruder was standing on this pedestal when he took that famous video that everybody sees of President Kennedy getting killed, and then Jackie Kennedy climbing onto the back of the car to get a piece of the president's brain that had flung onto the back of the car. And then the car, I'm stepping out onto the Grassy Knoll. The president's car took off down this way and then around the corner, and Parkland Hospital's about a mile that way. So this is where several of the conspiracy theories say that there were other shooters, or that Oswald wasn't the shooter at all. He wasn't even here. There's all sorts of theories. We're not going to get into them in a Facebook Live video. But one of the other things about this area that you don't hear a lot about unless you really start watching some of these documentaries and doing reading on it. Right about right in between where those two people are standing and where that guy is standing, like right there, was a lady probably in her 50s, it looked like, was captured on Zapruder's film taking video this way. She had a camera in her hand and she was wearing a babushka, like a headscarf kind of thing. And she's known as the babushka lady. And the reason she's known as the babushka lady is because she has never been identified and her footage has never surfaced anywhere. They never figured out who this woman was, and they never got a hold of her footage. And it's a shame that they didn't, because it probably would have either confirmed or refuted a lot of these conspiracy theories, because she was shooting video across the street this way to where all the potential shooters might have been. So she might have gotten some video of another shooter. Back here behind us, that's called the picket fence. And actually our rental car is parked on the other side of the picket fence. The picket fence is another place, and it goes all along there. The picket fence is another place where conspiracy theorists and alternate theory people have suggested that perhaps there were other shooters behind that fence hiding out, and that either Oswald up there in that room right there, we're going to go in there tomorrow, but either Oswald up there wasn't the only shooter, or he wasn't a shooter at all. So this is Dealy Plaza. You read all about the famous Grassy Knoll. It's not very grassy right now, but this is the Grassy Knoll right here. And that's where John F. Kennedy, President of the United States, met his end. And this lady is going to get her picture taken there. I don't know. I'm not dodging traffic to get my picture taken on Kennedy's Death X. Oh, here comes some more cars. This is the street here, and the cars came down here. And there were motorcycle, there's a whole motorcade. There's a motorcycle escort, and there were police escorts, and he got up to that X and got shot once. And the time it took Oswald to reload or, recock his weapon, the car got to there, and that's where he died there. I mean, he wasn't declared dead until he got to the hospital, but anybody who's seen Abraham Zapruder's film, he died right there. He got shot in the head, and his wife was trying to grab pieces of his skull off of the back of the car. So yeah, this is Dealy Plaza. I'm not going to get up on it because I'll probably fall off and kill myself, but I'm standing right next to the pedestal where Abraham Zapruder shot that famous film of President Kennedy's life ending in November 22nd, 1963. And the whole area here has been set aside as a park. Like, they haven't changed. These trees were there. And if you watch all these documentaries, read the books, some of the conspiracy theorists say, well, that's an impossible shot. There's no way Oswald could have made that shot. And they actually have a webcam in the window where the sniper's nest is. And you can see the shot. And I couldn't make the shot. Absolutely not, I couldn't make the shot. But Oswald was a trained military marksman who had won several marksmanship badges when he was in the Army. I don't see any reason why a trained shooter couldn't make that shot. Seems like a relatively simple shot, actually, for somebody who knows what they're doing. So I'm going to take a quick walk back here. I don't know what this guy's doing. There's several tours you can take through here. We're taking one tomorrow. Do you believe that gentleman is a conspiracy theorist? He had all kinds of... this guy here is signing people up for tours, but that guy I just walked past, he had all sorts of documentation of the various conspiracy theories, the various alternative theories. This here is the picket fence. It is just a fence, and it looks much like it did then. I'm sure this isn't the same wood. That white car right there, that's our rental car. But this is just as it was in 1963. It's a parking lot. And there's several entrances out the back of this parking lot. You jump around the interstate and go. So if somebody was going to assassinate the president, you could easily shoot the president standing right here and get in your car and get out and go. So it's not, it's right there. It's 100 feet, 150 feet to the second X. The first X, it's a little bit of a tricky shot, maybe. Yeah, see that guy right there? I think he's a conspiracy theorist guy. It's kind of I don't know, you could sit right here, shoot there, but the first shot was fired when he was back in the intersection still. So it's not, it's a makeable shot. Again, I probably couldn't make the shot because I'm not a shooter, but it's a makeable shot, I suppose, for somebody who knew what they were doing. But this whole picket fence area is exactly as it was back then. So perhaps in some theories, this is where a shooter would have stood, either in addition to or instead of Oswald. And then there was somebody right over there with a camera aimed at this whole area over here. So if we could ever find that woman or find her footage, we might have some answers to some of these alternative suggestions. But as of this moment, and we're 50 years in now, 60 years in, she has never surfaced. One of the other conspiracy theories was that there's a guy with an umbrella standing on the sidewalk right about, a little bit farther than where that lady in the white coat is. There was a guy on the sidewalk with an umbrella, and that when the motorcade came by, he raised his umbrella in the air, and one of the theories was that that was a signal to the various shooters that they should get their shot lined up and get ready. So, again, a lot of theories. As many theories as there are people. There were only 3 shots fired that day, so at most you're looking at 3 shooters. And if you read the Warren report, which I have, very, very dry, but if you read the Warren report, it lays out its case pretty succinctly. There's a lot of unanswered questions, which is usually where conspiracy theories arise. But, and one of the other ones was there's a drainage sewer drain right there. One of the conspiracy theories is that there was a shooter in that drain, and that the shooter in that drain fired the kill shot. So that's not even, I might even be able to make that shot. I mean, I'm not getting down into a sewer, but I could even make that shot. So who knows? The facts of the matter are that on that X, on November 22nd, 1963, President Kennedy died. Whoever did it. I tend to think Oswald did it, but everybody has an opinion. I'll take a walk down these steps here. Get a better look at the Death X. I think it's kind of, I don't know, morbid's probably the wrong word, but it's a little odd that every time they repave this road, they go ahead and they put another X in the road where President Kennedy died. This is Elm Street is the name of the street. And it's a relatively busy road, so the people who are running out in their cars trying to get their pictures on the Death X, I'm gonna hard pass on that one. But the president's car, he died right there on that X, and then the car went down here, went through that tunnel, and Parkland Hospital is over yonder. What do we have here? Oh, okay, the Grassy Knoll. There we go. That's the Grassy Knoll. The Grassy Knoll starts over here, and it comes over to here. And when you read about this or watch shows and videos about this, that's the picket fence. And then this is the Grassy Knoll. And there were a lot of people in this grassy area here. I think that if there had been someone shooting that people would have seen, I think if there was going to be another shooter or an alternative shooter, they would have either had to have been hiding behind the picket fence or maybe up there behind the portico. I don't see where there's, oh, that's an interesting car. Bet you President Kennedy never envisioned a car like that driving past his Death X. The other shooters would have had to have been back here somewhere, probably in here, like right in this little, the fence does a little turn and goes back that way. It would probably have to be in there somewhere if there was going to be another shooter. I think it's much more likely that the shooter was in that window, let's see, that window right there. And he took his shot, and being a skilled military marksman, he hit his shot. And then there's the X. Actually, I am going to walk across the street because Debbie's over on the other side. This guy's doing tours. So I'm going to walk across the Death X after all. Right here. Oh, Debbie's over there. I thought Debbie's right there. I thought Debbie was over here and I was going over to see. I thought you were over there. No. I'll come back. All right, so that's it. Grassy Knoll, Death X, tour group, conspiracy theorist. Have a good day, everyone.